Good morning. We're sorry to interrupt your regularly scheduled programming with some breaking news. Use of the illicit drug use has risen among undergraduate college students. Reports show ages 18 to 25 have the highest rate of illicit drug use. Our studies from a random sampling show 5,389 students were pulled from the 20,138. It was a survey asking how many illicit drugs have been used in the past 12 months. Results show Hispanic and white students tend to have higher rates of drug use compared to African American and Asian peers. White students using more marijuana, ecstasy, LSD, and other prescription drugs more than African Americans. In terms of gender, male students have higher rates of drug use than females. American young adults between 18 to 29 years of age have the highest past year prevalence rates of drug use, abuse, and dependence relative to older age groups.
Hi guys, this is Christine Ellis, and we have here
Ralph Morrison Jr.
So it's a school project about addiction. Is addiction a moral defect, or is addiction a medical disease? What do you think, Ralph?
I personally think it's a medical disease.
What do you think is that?
It's a chemical imbalance in the brain.
Can you explain more to the audience, please?
So when it comes to addiction, something in your body has changed to where whatever the addiction is providing that thing now in your body, and or releases some type of chemical that your body doesn't produce in an over amount of rate.
I agree with you. And then I have a question for you. You was in the military, or was it the Marines? The Marines. Okay, as serving in the Marines, like, did you see any like people that was like, okay, boom, he's prone to be a drug addict after the Marines because PTSD, or what do you think about the question? Like,
I don't think anybody's necessarily prone because of an action or something that happened. I think it's more of who the individual is and what the experience is. It's judged by different situations. Not everybody that has PTSD becomes an addict.
Yeah. Then my other question is, do you think addiction is a major health problem?
I do.
What do you think is a major health problem?
It depends on the addiction. Again, alcoholism is a very bad one, but then you have things like heroin, cocaine, meth. A big one now is, unfortunately, people are dying from fentanyl.
Oh, fentanyl?
Fentanyl. And that's definitely killing a lot of people daily. So.
Okay. And another thing I have to ask was, in my first article that I had read, in Article 1, the article also discussed how cultural elements could affect addiction and the stigma around addiction. Like, it says, like, African Americans are not, like, more prone to, like, addiction. They say Caucasians and, Hispanics and white students are prone to addiction. How do you feel about that?
I mean, you have to look at the culture and how it went back. It is a situation where black people have been fighting addiction for a very long time, as opposed to the Caucasians and the Spanish. Spanish as well, because, you know, South America is very big on cocaine, so things like that, so on and so forth. But ever since like the 70s, we've been fighting addiction, certain things to numb the pain of our culture. So
oh yeah, that makes sense. Do you have anything like questions or anything to say about addiction? And like, is it a medical disease or anything? Because you were telling me how that you had a degree in what again? Yeah, pharmacy technician. Hold the camera right.
When it comes to addiction, you don't know.
Okay.
A lot of people right now, the famous line is, "Oh, I'll never get addicted." Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. There's a whole lot of drugs. All it takes is once. Not everything is like cigarettes. You have functioning alcoholics. You have functioning drug addicts.
Yeah.
So it's very, especially when it's wrapped around depression. So you just have to be careful about
Hold the camera right.
what you take into your body.
Okay. Thank you again.
Good morning to all. Today we have a forecast of good weather, so bring out your best outfits. Without any time being wasted, we're just going to jump straight into the summary of Article 1. The article discussed whether addiction is a moral defect or a medical disease. Firstly, the article describes what addiction is. According to the article, disease is a major health problem. The article also discussed how cultural elements could affect the addiction and the stigma around addiction. Mainly, the article discussed a case study about the University of Alabama, in which they observed college students' entry into the university. The article also stated facts to correlate with the case study. For example, how young adults between the ages of 18 and 25 are likely to have an alcohol or drug addiction. The case study included asking college students questions about their family's history, addiction, or theirs. Overall, the result of the experiment was that a diverse set of causes thought to be related to substance use are spontaneous. Good morning.
My name is Anthony. We are here at an undisclosed dispensary here in Martin County, and I am here with the wonderful M. Thank you for taking some time to speak with me. How was your day?
It was wonderful. How was your day?
It could have been better. I just wanted to run a couple things by you as our local bud tender. What are some of the biggest misconceptions about medical grade cannabis that you see?
A few of the biggest misconceptions I would say is I feel like people kind of view cannabis as more of a drug than taking in like its medicinal attributes. Like for example, people tend to think that people that smoke they have like no goals or ambitions, they're kind of lazy, they have no motivation, when in reality like there's certain products you can take that create like the opposite effect and whatnot. And I feel like there's just such an awful like stigma around it.
Now, you touched on interacting with some of the patients. You know, when you go to the emergency room or you seek other health services, a lot of times you're prescribed things that you really have no idea the effect that it's going to take on your body. As a bud tender, working in a dispensary, how has that experience changed your mind on informed consent?
It's actually pretty cool because I feel like with cannabis in general, you kind of have more control. Like you are in charge. You're going into the dispensary, nobody's telling you specifically like this is what you're limited to buy, this is what you need to buy, you can only get this product, you can only get that product. And the even cooler part is that you're able to actually like pinpoint specific terpenes within the cannabis that kind of will give you like certain medical benefits if you're looking to heal like some ailments that you have going on and whatnot. Like you're able to specifically pinpoint exactly what you're needing. You are more in control of your medicine and compared to like any other aspect, I would say, like compared to like pharmaceuticals and whatnot.
So essentially, when patients come into a cannabis dispensary, would you say they are able to really sort of create their own individual treatment plan?
Exactly, yeah. And my favorite part is you can kind of recommend to people what works for you and what doesn't work for you, but at the end of the day, everyone's different, everyone's body handles things differently. So it's really cool to kind of like see people go through like the trial and errors with products and just kind of like find their path to find the best product that works the best for them.
And speaking on that, you mentioned this idea of trial and error. How might someone medicate responsibly?
So with medicating responsibly, I would say start low, start with low dosages, go slow. Don't push yourself. You might like take a few puffs off of a joint if you're fairly new, not feel anything, want to keep smoking, but you're not taking into account that that's already in your body. It's taking time to process, it's converting to different cannabinoids, so the effects aren't always going to be instant. I also feel like with cannabis that you have the most control over what you're purchasing. Like you are in charge. There's nobody like specifically directing you and telling you you can only take like a certain medication because it's completely up to you. And then as said with like comparing like for an example like with edibles, as soon as you eat that you got to kind of like buckle up for the ride. But whereas with like a vaping product, an inhalation product, that just varies on how often you're hitting it, how long you're drawing for. So as I said, it just kind of depends on the person, what they're looking for, how long they've been smoking and whatnot.
Even surprisingly, edibles tend to be a lot more of a controlled high because know when it's gonna hit, you know exactly how long it's gonna last.
Exactly.
So if you don't like it, you can buckle up. Well, thank you so much, Bree, for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate your expert opinion.
Thank you for having me.
Until next time.